Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another episode of One Director, 4 Films. Today's episode features the American independent Wonder Kid, even though he's not a kid anymore, Jim Jarmusch, who is not for everybody, but he's had a pretty long and consistent career since the 80s. Wonderful dry sense of humour. Again, his films aren't for everybody, quite droll. He's heavily influenced by Sam Fuller and Nicholas Ray. He's just a very funny guy if you listen to his interviews. A very cool, effortlessly cool man. And again, the consistency of his catalogue is pretty impressive. But again, this series is about 4 of his films, a fundamental choice, the one that sums up Jarmusch if you were showing somebody a Jarmusch film who's never seen a Jarmusch film before, your favourite, an underseen gem, and a Flounder, the film that doesn't really work for you, or you maybe just watch it the least out of his catalogue. So for the fundamental choice, again, there's with a lot of these directors, there's so many ways you can go. But for me, I'm going to go with Down by Law, starring Robert Benigni, John Lurie, and the wonderful Tom Waits. Not that I'm biased, but absolutely adore Tom Waits. And this is the classic Jarmusch. 3 characters end up in prison. 3 characters that are Jarmusch staples. Drifters and losers and kind of characters that other directors don't really show or are interested in. That's the kind of people Jarmusch is interested in. The acting style, again, not for everybody. It's got great music. It has a wonderful sense of humour, again, not for everybody. Things happen that aren't explained, and it doesn't really matter because it's cinema. You don't actually have to explain everything. Some people might find this film really boring and dull, but it's absolutely wonderful. What's Jarmusch trying to say? It's entirely up to you. Jarmusch doesn't really stamp themes in capital letters across these films like some filmmakers do. Jarmusch, you could argue, is very much an atmosphere director, very much a vibe director, and Down by Law is one of his very best, and I think it sums him up very well. So my favourite, again, I could go in several directions with this. But I'm going to go Only Lovers Left Alive. An absolutely stunning film. Again, beautiful music by Squirrel, amongst others. This is the lovely Plain Archive edition that I like to show off every now and again. Even makes Tom Hiddleston seem like a good actor. Tilda Swinton's absolutely fantastic. She would actually reprise her role in the TV version of What They Do in the Shadows, which is another layer of wonderfulness. It's Jarmusch's take on vampires, and he kind of takes it from an angle that other people have kind of missed. The idea that, these people have been around for hundreds of years, so just think of all the art and all the music that they've been exposed to. Hiddleston's character is a musician, so he takes all these influences from his couple of hundred years, because he's Tilda Swinton's Toy Boy, she's 400 years old, he's only 200 years old. Again, it has a wonderful atmosphere. John Hurt turns up and gives a wonderful little performance. Again, it's dripping with atmosphere. The music is very trance-like. The film is very trance-like. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning, and one of the best films of the 21st century. Only Lovers Left Alive is absolutely fantastic. Underrated. This maybe probably isn't underrated, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Dead Man. I might have to pick up the Criterion just to double dip. An amazing cast. Again, Jarmusch does tend to get great casts. This is Johnny Depp, if you remember him. Gary Farmer, Alfred Molina, Crispin Glover, Billy Bob Thornton, Michael Wincott, Robert Mitchum, Jared Harris, John Hurt, Gabriel Byrne. I'm probably forgetting quite a few people. It's black and white. It's a western, but it's Jarmusch doing western. It is brutal. The black and white cinematography of Robbie Mueller is absolutely beautiful and crisp. Again, it's got a score by Neil Young. Obviously, Jarmusch has done a couple of music films as well. One on Crazy Horse, Neil Young Crazy Horse. It's absolutely beautiful, and again, atmosphere, vibe, trance-like, just absolutely wonderful. For the Flounder, there's one that kind of sticks out, for me at least. I mean, you could go with Permanent Vacation, his short debut, which has the kind of germs of what Jarmusch cinema would be, but the lead for me is fairly unengaging, but it's a debut, so I'm not going to pick that one. I'm going to pick The Dead Don't Die, Jarmusch doing zombie films, and it's basically because something happens near the end of the film that for me just didn't work, and just kind of soured me on the rest of the film, which again is a lot of fun. Again, a tremendous cast: Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Steve Buscemi, Caleb Landry Jones, Iggy Pop, RZA, Selena Gomez, Adam Driver, Chloe Sevigny, Danny Glover, Rosie Perez, Sarah Driver, Carol Kane, and Tom Waits. It does have the wonderful line, "the greatest zombie cast ever disassembled." It has good moments, but because of the thing that happens near the end, not that it ruined the film for me, but it did kind of knock a few stars off of it for me. But Tilda Swinton steals the show as a Scottish mortician with a samurai sword. Again, fun to be had, but for me, the choice that Jarmusch makes near the end of the film really didn't work. So that's my Flounder for Jarmusch. But again, this series is all about your choices, not mine. So please leave your comments for your 4 films of Jim Jarmusch, and hopefully you'll join me again for more One Director, 4 films. This is Soldier Ronan from Soldier Ronan Films, saying cheerio.